Hello and welcome to my latest video. It's Christmas Eve, so yes, something special for your Christmas. Well, I hope so. I did a video a couple of days ago about how to pronounce some of those difficult cycling brands, and a number of people, well, one anyway, left a comment asking me if I could do a second version of this because there were a few brands that he was struggling with. So as a service to all of my wonderful viewers out there, this is part 2 of those difficult cycling brands that you wish you knew how to pronounce. And we're going to start, I've got them written down on a piece of paper here, so it's going to make it easier. We're going to start with this one. This is a Belgian brand, and this was started in the mid-60s when the Batman cartoons were very popular. And the Batman cartoons actually were #1 in the Belgian TV charts for 16 years. Only recently been overtaken by that great British sitcom EastEnders. Anyway, they picked one of the characters from the Batman cartoons and they named their brand after it, and it's the Riddler. Yes, the Riddler, the Joker in the pack. Not the Joker. That was another character. No, the Riddler. Yes, Riddler is that great Belgian cycling brand. Now, this one's a fairly new one, and this is a bike manufacturer. Used to be the guys who were running Cervelo, I think. And the pronunciation of this is a little bit awkward actually, so you might want to just run this video back 1 or 2 times because this is Threet. Okay, so if you imagine the number 3, you can see the number 3 there in case you're not sure what that looks like, and then the letter T, you put them together and you get Threet. So the cycling brand is Threet. The next one is a American brand associated with Treek, which is the bicycle brand that Lance Armstrong managed to ruin during his career. And this is what's called a hard G. And a hard G is difficult from a soft G or an easy G. Other Gs are available. And so this is pronounced Bontrager. Can you say that? Bontrager. So you need to get the emphasis on the right part of the 7th syllable. So that's Bontrager. All right, so the hard G ending G, Bontrager. All right, so please try and get it right because you don't want to go into a bike shop and look a fool because you can't pronounce the words properly. And this one is another cycling brand, quite a popular cycling brand in America, so I'm told. And as you know, in the US version of the English language, which has been changed over the years, they always emphasize, or they always put the emphasis on the final E of a word. So this is Cannondale, right? Cannondale, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to put the emphasis on the day. You can just sort of brush over the day, so long as you get that final emphasis on the E at the end of the word and you get Cannondale, okay? Writing this down, well, you don't have to write it down, you can watch the video, can't you? Now this is not a Spanish brand, no, not a French brand either. This is a Basque brand. Yes, that area of the country area of northern Spain, still seeking independence from Spain. And this is a well-established bicycle brand from that. And this is pronounced Orbi because in the Basque language, that B-E-A there at the end is pronounced B, like the bug, the insect, the bee. So Orbi is pronounced Orbi. So if you go into a bicycle shop in the Basque country, or even if you go into a bicycle shop in other countries that happens to be run by Basques, and that does occasionally happen, then make sure you say Orbi, otherwise you'll look a fool. This one is a bike brand that Sky and now Ineos, if you'll remember from the first video, Ineos use as their preferred bike brand. And this being an Italian word, you'll note or you'll be aware from your studies at school or at further education colleges that if you have an Italian word with an A in the middle, you have to pronounce it. I'm covering up with my finger. I'm not giving you the finger, as they say in America. Perhaps if I use that finger, it would be better. Even the little finger, how they are. You can't give a little finger in America. You can only give a single finger. So if it's an Italian word, that central A there is not pronounced. So the way you deal with this word is to say Pinrello. All right, Pinrello. It slips easily off the tongue. It's a rather expensive bike brand, and if you're going to buy expensive bike brands, it helps if you get the pronunciation right. So Pinrello. You want to repeat after me? Pinrello. Perhaps you could do a sort of Zoom conference call with your extended family after you've had your Christmas dinner, and you could practice some of these brands together. In fact, one family could hold up one of these cards. You can write them out, or you can order them from my website. You can hold them up, and then somebody else in your Zoom group then has to give the correct pronunciation. And this one, as you know, because that central A in an Italian word is not pronounced, it's Pinrello. Now this is this can cause a certain amount of sniggers, and if you have young children, elderly grandparents, maiden aunts around for Christmas dinner, which of course you shouldn't if you're in the United Kingdom in tier 4, you can in other tiers, but I suggest you look up the tier rules on the government website where you get all the information that you need. This is pronounced Wylia. All right, this is another Italian brand, and in Italian, as you will well know from your studies, if you have WI at the beginning of a word, then that is pronounced Y. So you have Wylia, and then you add that kind of emphasis in a sort of Italian pasta ice cream voice Lia. So you've got Wylia. So if you put those two together, if you're doing that Zoom quiz, you might get one family to do the Y bit, you could get another family to do the Leah bit, and then you, as the sort of master or mistress of ceremonies even, you could put them together and you get your Y Leah. So nice Italian brand. Unfortunately, I don't have a Y Leah bicycle, although I am hoping that Santa Claus will bring me something. This is a brand. This company makes lights, bicycle tools, things like that, and this one is pronounced Lesin. All right, so if you have again an American word, this is an American company. If you have a Y in the middle of the word, then that is pronounced as I. Okay, so it's Lesin. All right, so if you want to buy some cycling lights, you go into the bicycle shop and you say, have you got any cycle lights? I'm interested perhaps in a Lesin. And they would say, of course, sir or madam, do come this way, we have a big collection for you, and they'll show you all the Lesin lights that they have. Now, one of my subscribers left a comment about this particular brand, saying this was very popular in America, and he said, how do you pronounce it? Well, I said, well, who cares how you pronounce it, because you don't want to buy one of these bikes. But anyway, as a special service to him, this is pronounced Jams. All right, so it's like one of those words where you have MIS at the end of the word. I can't offhand think of one, but if you have that, it's pronounced Jams, not Jamis, not Jamis. It's not that great. Unfortunately, unfortunately demised sort of shouty blues singer Janis Joplin. So you wouldn't pronounce it Jamis Joplin. No, this is not named after the singer. Well, it wouldn't be, because it's an M as opposed to an N. But in this case, where you have the M in the middle of the word followed by IS, it's pronounced Jams. All right, so you don't want to buy one of these bikes, of course, and we don't have them in the United Kingdom. I've never heard of them, don't know anything about them, but I do know the correct pronunciation, because I've been to pronunciation school, and it's pronounced Jams. This is another Italian brand, and I'm grateful for my friend Oz, who taught me the correct pronunciation of these, because he used to have a collection of these bikes, and it is Colongo. So if you very, very well known, high-end, quite expensive, quite posh sort of brand, a bit like the Pinrello, but this is Colongo. Now a lot of people go around saying Colnago in this kind of affected, stupid, posh voice, and they say, oh yes, I've got a Colnago. No, I'm sorry. If you go to the Colongo Owners Club and you meet You meet the president, who's called Mr. Colongo, and his wife, who's called Mrs. Colongo. They have a couple of children. There is Bob Colongo, and then there is Jimmy Colongo, and then they had a third child, and they were a little lacking in imagination, so they called him Bob Jimmy Colongo. So it is... It is Bob Jimmy Colongo being their youngest child. Right, now, it's really, right, compose yourself. This is not the sort of thing that you should be doing on a video. Now, many of you will like to take really boring films when you're on the bike, and then you upload them to YouTube, and you want everybody to sit through them, these dreary cycling films. And what most of you will use is a camera made by this company, which is Gopro. All right, Gopro. Now, some people you may have heard giving it different pronunciations, but they're just people who don't know anything about YouTubers, and they don't know anything about how to make a film on a bike because they use the wrong pronunciation, so everything else is going to be wrong. They're going to put music on their film, and it's just not going to work. So you want to go, maybe go on Amazon, other websites are available, and order yourself a GoPro, and then you can make your own boring films. Now we're coming to the end now, so I know some of you are getting fed up and saying, look, my Christmas dinner is getting cold and my family want to know when the quiz is going to start, so let's move on swiftly. This is a French brand, and this is Mavic. And you will know, you just imagine there's a kind of V-double-E-K sound, Vic. All right, so if you are, again in France, and you go into a cafe and you ask for a Pernod, or what is that other drink that they drink? Beer, pastis. That's it. They have pastis, and they have croissant. Yes, we have croissant. And then you say to the gentleman behind the counter, my good man, I'd like a pastis, I'd like a croissant, and do you have any Mavic wheels? All right, so make sure you get the pronunciation correct. You don't want them to think you're a stupid Englishman, or just an Englishman, or even a Welshman or a Scotsman or an Irishman, just one of those silly British people. So moving on quickly, this is a company that makes tyres. And when you have a company that makes tyres, they like very specific pronunciations of their words. And this is, the first part of this is Michael, all right? So you can see that M-I-C-H, I'm trying to read from the back of the paper, so it's a little bit difficult, but it's M-I-C-H-E-L, Michael, and then in at the end, so Michael in, all right? So you say, have you got any of those Michael in tyres? And they will say, yes, sir or madam, please come with me, and here is a selection of Michael in tyres, and you can choose which one you prefer. And you might say, no, I don't really like Michael in tyres. What I want is one of these tyres. And they say, well, you want a Schwab. And you say, yes, I'd like a Schwab. I didn't want to ask for it because I was worried about getting the pronunciation wrong. But now that I know, have you got any of these Schwab tyres? And they'll say, yes, certainly, madam, or sir, please come with me. Right, and we finally reached the end, and because it's Christmas, the weather is cold outside, none of you really want to do that stupid Rafa 500 thing, so you're going to do a little bit work on the turbo, and you've bought yourself one of these. Yes, you went into the shop, and you said, have you got a Wahoo? And they said, we got what? And you said, a Wahoo, I think it's called. It's a turbo. Everyone's got them, haven't they? A Wahoo, and they've got bike computers and heart rate monitors. It's Wahoo. Don't you spell that? And it's, oh, you mean woo, right? You don't pronounce it Wahoo, you idiot. It's woo. Don't you know anything? It's an old Taiwanese word meaning missing vowels. So that's why their bike computer is called an element, because they've left off the E, and their particular turbo is called a kick because they've left off the E as well. So this is an old Taiwanese word meaning missing vowels, and that's why it's pronounced woo. But when there is 2 O's at the end of the word, they're not missing vowels, they are included vowels, so it's only the A that's missed out. We do include the double O, and that's why it's woo. So we've pretty much covered all of the main cycling brands. If you're worried about anything in particular, if you want to leave a comment down below. If you enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so somebody will come around with a hammer and hit you over the head and tell you Julian's just uploaded another video, and watching his videos raises money for the Vine Food Bank, which is in Croydon in the United Kingdom, and it's all in a good cause. So thanks for watching. Have a great Christmas. It's Christmas Day tomorrow. I may do a video tomorrow depending on whether my family are talking to me or not, but if I don't do a video, see you pretty soon. Thanks for watching and see you next time.